Forum. It is sponsored here today by the Norman County Economic Development Association. My name is Mark Askelson. I'm the news director at RJ Broadcasting and 106.5 KRJB. Tonight's political forum is being broadcast on 106.5 KRJB and online at rjbroadcasting.com. Again, thanks to the Norman County EDA for sponsoring this event. And today we'll be hearing from our Norman County Commission candidates, John Hintz and Leanne Hall. Our Norman County Sheriff's race with Jeremy Thornton and Tim Bowe. And we'll also be chatting with our Minnesota House District 4B race with Paul Marquardt and Jason Peterson. Today's format will be pretty simple. I'll ask you each a question. You'll have a reasonable amount of time to answer that question. And if you wish to rebuttal, you certainly can. We ask you to keep the rebuttals short. If they go too long, we will ask you to start shortening things up or start interrupting to get on to the next question. With that being said, we will start tonight's event with our Norman County Commission candidates. Please welcome to the stage incumbent Leanne Hall and John Hintz. Well, guys, thanks again for being here today. We'll start with introductions and a little bit of background on yourselves. We'll start with our challenger, John Hintz.
Thanks for having us, Mark. My name is John Hintz. I'm the challenger, obviously, and I've been born and raised in Ada. Went to high school here at Ada-Borup High School. Graduated from Moorhead Tech in 2007 with a sales and marketing degree. I've been employed at Kelly's Chrysler Center here in Ada since 2004. I've been married to my wife Katie since August of 2012, and again, a lifelong resident of Ada.
Leanne?
My name is Leanne Hall, and I grew up in Fargo. I moved to Ada in 1991, and I never looked back. I love this community. It's just inspired me to be just a really good person to get out and learn about the community. I own my own business. I've worked in travel for many years until I moved to Ada. I had a travel agency, and then I started an office supply store in Ada. I've been the Norman County Commissioner for 15 and a half years.
All right, well, John, why do you want to be a county commissioner?
Well, first and foremost, I think change isn't always a bad thing. Leanne has been in this position for 16 years. And I think a fresh perspective and a fresh voice on the commission would be ideal for not just Ada, but for Norman County as a whole. I think I can offer that. I think my experience with the Ada City Council and my voice on that has proved to do so. And I think actually that's my biggest deal going forward, is that I would just like to insert some fresh voices and fresh voices for the commission.
All right, and Leanne, why do you wish to continue to be a county commissioner, or why did you become one, and why do you continue to be?
I became a county commissioner to try to make our community, the city of Ada, and our county a better place. I guess my passion is volunteering and helping people and trying to be out there all the time. And so this was my way to continue that vision that I have for my life, to help people. I want to continue to be a county commissioner. I want to continue working with our department heads and working with the county to make it a better place to live and work and do business. And I guess I've done some things I'm very proud of over the years. I've gotten 4 grants for the Norman County Courthouse that have been successful, and I want to continue that. There's other projects I'd like to work on. And I also, I believe I was very instrumental in helping get our drug task force officer, and I'm proud of that too. And there's a lot of things I still want to do for Norman County.
All right, we'll keep things with you, Leanne. What are your biggest concerns for Norman County at the moment?
Well, the concerns I have for Norman County is our highway department has run out of space, and so we need to construct a new building. So moving forward on the building committee, we're trying to decide what direction we want to go, if we're going to build just a shop, or if we're going to build a whole new building with offices. And so that's a huge dilemma for Norman County, and that's going to be a huge expense to the taxpayers. but it's something that's needed. I also believe, we just formed the Norman County Economic Development Authority, which has been my dream for many years, and it's exciting that we finally got this done. We had people move forward and we're excited to be on this committee. And so I'm hoping that we can continue to promote our county and to, we've got a really good momentum going, so I'm really excited about that.
All right, John, same question.
To kind of add to Leanne's response, I think the biggest thing for Norman County is economic development. Like Leanne said, I'm also on the Norman County EDA. And, you know, I don't own my own business, but I am in, you know, the business field at being a salesman at Kelly's Chrysler, so I have seen the ups and downs of the economy, not just in 2008, but in 2012. And we need to work with everybody involved, not just the business owners, but everybody throughout the local government and state government, to try and not only keep the local businesses that we have, but to kind of try and retain those and then attract new ones as well. We have plenty of area, not just in Ada, but also in Norman County, that businesses could thrive in, and we need to kind of showcase those different areas.
All right, John, you are much younger and provide a fresh voice to the commission. Leanne, you bring an unmeasurable amount of experience here with all your years of service, making this a very interesting and very good race, similar to our legislative race we'll have on later here today. Both very good candidates and very good staples of the community. Why do you feel that your kind of platforms, John being the fresh voice and Leanne providing the experience, why do you feel that it's more important than the other? And we'll start with you, John, I guess.
Okay. 5 years ago, I was approached by a couple individuals to join the Ada City Council. At that point, I was the youngest member of the City Council by at least 20 years. Since then, and since I've kind of gotten a foot of the council itself, we have now 2 members that are even younger than myself. And I think that fresh voice and fresh perspective has allowed us to not just retain the things that the city has brought to the forefront, but also progress. And I think we have to keep moving forward, not just as a city, but as a county. I'm involved not with just the City Council, the Norman County EDA, the Ada EDA, and then the Ada Future Leaders, which I'm all either a president or a chair of. And all of those collectively, again, help the whole county as a whole move forward.
Leanne, why do you feel your experience is more valuable than its fresh voice?
Well, my experience on the county board, I think I bring a calm, common sense approach to the county board. We have several different personalities on there, and it's not always easy to deal with situations. And so sometimes I think just all of us working together as a team, and I think the personalities really mesh. I'd like to continue to be on the county board for another 4 years. I have a lot left I'd like to do, a lot more I'd like to be involved in. I think I've started a lot of projects, the courthouse project, I'd like to continue with that. I'd like to continue with the building committee for the highway department. And I'd like to really work hard on this economic development authority. So I have vision for that. I also am getting to the point where I have hopefully retiring in another year or so, and I really would like to spend a lot more time on even more committees than I'm on now. There's so many committees that I could be serving on. I'm on 14 now, but I could really probably be on about 25 to represent Norman County, and that's my dream, is to retire from my business and to move forward and spend more time really promoting our county and working hard towards it.
All right, Leanne, that brings me to my next question here. Being a county commissioner involves a great deal of time and responsibility and a lot of long meetings. How have you handled that role with the amount of time that's needed to be a commissioner?
Owning my own business, I pretty much can dictate my schedule. So I have a business partner that is very easy to work with and allows me to have the time that I need to attend the meetings. So I have no problem with, if there's a meeting, I can, if something happens, I can be there within minutes. And I have no problem leaving my schedule, I have my calendar, I have everything scheduled, so everybody knows when I'm going to be gone. I can have employees come in and take my place when need be. Evening, I have no problem with evening meetings, there's several of those that are out of town. And I have no problem attending anything that my responsibility requires.
John, I guess same question, how will you handle that amount of time that it takes?
Absolutely. I don't own my own business, as it's been stated a few times, but I do have a very flexible schedule. I'm fortunate enough to work here in town, which is very easy for me to run away if there is a meeting or if there is a issue that arises. You could ask anybody on the Ada City Council, the Ada Future Leaders, Norman County EDA, the City EDA, that I'm very readily available. Everyone in Ada should or does know where my office is. I do have an open door policy. Come in if there's an issue. I'm very readily available.
What has been the proudest accomplishment of your professional life, whether as a commissioner, a council member, as your personal career? What has been the biggest or most proudest accomplishment of your professional life, John?
You know, I think it's a culmination of everything. We've done a lot of great things on the Ada City Council. You know, we have a FEMA certified levy. On the Ada Future Leaders, there's a lot of great things we've done, from sandbox fills to the Gifts for Youth program, which is kind of my number one goal every year, is to bring a smile, you know, to all of the kids' heart throughout Norman County. We've done a great job, not just myself, but the rest of the Ada Future Leaders have done a great job of putting in time and effort and giving back to the community. You know, that would probably be my number one.
Leanne, same question.
I guess for me, I became alive when I moved to Ada in 1991. And the reason I did is when I lived in Fargo, I was involved in things, but I wasn't involved like I am here. So I guess my greatest accomplishment, I feel, is to be involved in our community, to believe in our community, and to do everything I can to make it a better place to live. And I volunteer with the chamber, the promotion committee, I plan all the Christmas festival, the Fun in the Flatlands. I've been secretary of the Chamber of Commerce for 26 years, doing all those things. And just between that and being on the county board, and I did serve on the Ada City Council for 4 years, just my passion is to make our community where I live a better place.
What does Norman County look like to you in 20 years from now? Whether what do you want it to look like, or what do you think it'll look like 20 years from now? We'll start with you, Leanne.
20 years from now, I'd like to see Norman County and Ada a bustling community. I'd like to see more growth, more housing, more businesses. I really believe that people in the big cities are getting tired of the rat race of the big city, and if we can get the word out to make them realize that Norman County and the Ada area is a wonderful place to live, I would like to see Ada bustling with businesses, the schools busting at the seams like it is now, continuing that type of future.
You know, I'll steal our slogan, I think alive and thriving. We got to figure out a way to try and retain some of the younger crowd. So many of my generation is moving away to the bigger city and not coming back until they're in their 40s, when they realize that Ada is a safe and secure and thriving community. So if we can figure out a way to not only retain the businesses we have and make sure that they don't die off on us, to also gain some businesses so that those my generation of people don't have to move away to find a job, that there in turn creates housing, boosts the economy, and it kind of just steamrolls from there. So again, alive and thriving in 20 years would be my ideal situation for Ada and Norman County.
Well, let's talk taxes a little bit. No one wants to pay higher taxes. Everyone wants to keep things affordable. How will you keep taxes affordable and still make all the needs of the Norman County residents?
I think the biggest thing, just like on the Ada City Council, you got to look at everything. You got to be able to figure out where you can cut costs, to move money around to make it affordable for everybody, not just the younger generation, especially the older generation that's on a fixed income. They're the ones probably hardest hit with us raising taxes. So if we can figure out a way to adjust that to their lifestyle and make it more feasible, I think that's the number one concern.
Leanne?
Hey, taxes are a huge debate at the county board level. We try to keep them down as much as we can. We try to work with department heads to try to make every department a little bit more efficient. As far as the highway department, that's a struggle because of roads and the cost alone are just astronomical. And so just trying to manage all that is really hard. But I think in the last 16 years that I've been on the county board that we've done a really good job. You know, we're cut with our state aid from $880,000 down to a little over $120,000. And we were able to survive that. That was a horrible several years for us as a county board trying to figure out how to not raise taxes and meet that deficit from the state of Minnesota. So it's just been a tough go. All you can do is try to work with department heads and try to make everything more efficient.
Well, that actually brings me right to my next question, Leanne. Norman County, of course, has multiple different departments that you have to work with underneath, the highway department, public health, social services, veteran services, et cetera, et cetera. Is there certain departments that you enjoy working with, or you look forward to working with, or work better with?
I believe I work good with every department. I'm very easy to get along with. I'm very approachable, and I think I would hope people would judge me as having the can-do attitude. If we have a problem, let's work on it and make a solution together, and not try to undermine or try to control people. Just to work together as a team and make things happen. I have no problem with any of the department heads.
John, is there any particular department heads you're looking forward to dealing with?
You know, everyone that knows me, I think, would say that I'm a social person, so I think I could certainly get along with all the department heads and everybody involved. Most importantly, I think I look forward to looking and dealing with the social services end of it, and then the sheriff's department, especially with everything that's been going on lately. I kind of looking forward to that if I am elected.
All right, we do have a few moments here. Is there any members from the public that have questions for our commission candidates? If you do, you can just step forward, I'll hand you the mic. But is there anyone out there that has questions for our commission candidates? All right, with that being said, closing remarks. John, I will start with you on the closing remarks here. Final thoughts here heading into this election.
Well, first and foremost, Mark, thanks for having us. KRJB, thanks for having us. You know, I've kind of appreciated this whole program and everything that's leading up to this. I wish nothing but the good luck for everybody. I hope everybody gets out and votes next following Tuesday, November 6th, and I'd appreciate your support.
Leanne?
I agree with John. I appreciate this whole system, and I'm glad that we got to come here tonight and talk and get some things out in the open. And I would appreciate your support. I've served you for 15.5 years, and I'm hoping that you're happy with the job that I've done. I've worked very hard, I'm very devoted, and very loyal, and I would appreciate your support also.
Leanne, John, I appreciate you guys for coming up here and voicing your opinions, and be very respectful and polite. Thank you, and best of luck here in the 2018 election. Before we get to our sheriff's race, we have Carrie Kirschbaum here with the Norman County EDA, the chair of the EDA. Just talk a little about what the EDA is, a little bit about what's going on. I know there's a launch party here coming up. Carrie, I'll let you take it away.
I brought notes this time. Norman County EDA means it's a Norman County Economic Development Authority, and that's such a big word for such a fun group. We've got 7 people to represent all the different areas of the county, and the Norman County Commissioners worked with us and they approved us, I believe it was this spring. And we started meeting and looking at all the great parts of Norman County. And one of the most exciting things was getting to hear about all the great things from different parts of the county. And I think the first couple meetings, we spent just getting familiar with each other and what's happening. We didn't know there was great fishing over in Halsted, right? We didn't know there was, you know, great camping over at the Hybrid Park. And so I moved back here in 2010, and I was gone for 30 years. And I was so happy to be back here. And sometimes I thought, wow, Norman County people don't understand how great they have it. I've been all over the country, but you guys have it great. So we got going, and we're having a launch party on November 16th. And we'll have Red Lion Country Band will be there. It'll be free food from like 7 different vendors from around the county. We want to invite you out. Everybody except for Ada residents are going to get a flyer in the mail. And so take a look at it, come out and join us. And we're just going to start bragging on Norman County. The biggest thing we're going to do here is talk about our recreation, talk about our cost of living, talk about our great schools, talk about our affordable housing. People are moving. The University of Minnesota says there's a brain gain. People between the ages of 35 and 49 are moving to rural Minnesota. And the reason is not because of jobs, it's because we have a great place to live and it's a safe place to live. So congratulations to those of you who live your whole life and you've made it that way, and you should have something to brag about.
Thank you, Carrie. Carrie Kirschbaum, the chair of the Norman County EDA. Again, just a reminder, tonight's event is being broadcast on 106.5 KRJB, courtesy of the Norman County EDA, and thanks to the City of Ada for allowing us to use this facility, and Baseline Sports Bar for putting us up with us as well. They are open over there in case you do need a beverage. I will put that out there.